this is Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you play a song called Hallelujah by Panic at the Disco. And we'll end up capoing this on 4th fret to kind of match the recording. But we'll walk through a couple things in reposition just in case you don't have a capo. And there are some really cool little intro licks if you wanted to kind of follow some of those notes. You can start with the open B string, and then 2nd fret on the B string, and then 2nd fret on the G string, and then open B, and then 1st fret on the B, open B, 2nd on the G, and then open G, and then you can go back to 2nd fret on the G, and we end up playing a lot of that, kind of 2, and then open B, kind of that same way, open B, and then there's kind of a 2 hit on the B, and I think there's no 2 hits, so we want to kind of follow those notes. So you have kind of a B, C sharp, A, B, C, B, A, G, A, B, B. Or you could add some basses to that and end up with a really cool 2-part. So you could start with the open E with the open B. I'm doing this finger style. You could definitely do this like with the pick and kind of hybrid pick this too. But you could do the open B and the open E at the same time. And then 2nd fret on the low E with 2nd fret on the B. And then play the 2nd fret on the G, open B. But then when you do that 1st fret on the B string, you want to add in 3rd fret on the A string at the same time. Then open B, 2nd on the G, and then on that open G string, you may want to play the 3rd fret on the low E string at the same time. And then to reinforce that 2nd fret on the A, or on the G string, it's an A note, you can play the open A string to kind of kick that off. And then go to 2nd fret on the A string for the open B. And then some more open B with the 2nd fret on the A. And then randomly you may want to take the 3rd fret on the A string and then slide it to 10th fret on the A. And we'll end up moving that to 14 actually when we do the capo thing. But all together, you'd have the open B and open B, well, open E and B, and 2 on the E, 2 on the B, 2 on the G, open B, 1st fret on the B with the 3rd fret on the A, open B, 2nd on the G, open G with the 3rd fret on the low E, and then open A with the 2nd fret on the G, and then 2nd fret on the A with the open B, and then 2nd fret on the A with the open B again, and then 3rd fret on the A, 10th fret slide on the A string. So you can kind of dig on working those notes together. On working that lick. Or the main verse chorus actually through the tune, actually it's really just following 3 chords. And we'd start on the E minor chord. And normally you do that 1st finger on the A 2nd, 2nd finger on the D 2nd. And if you strum all those together, oh, the sad sounds of E minor. Now, a lot of times when I'm on E minor, sometimes you can kind of add in some extra notes. So you could add in the 3rd fret on the B string with the 3rd finger. Pinky on the high E on the 3rd fret. Make that an E minor 7 if you kind of dig on that. That can make some of the chord changes a little bit easier if you're starting out. And then from the E minor, we'd be going to a C major chord. Normally you do that 1st finger on the B 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the A 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high string, the happy sounds of C major. Now around C's in general though, it can be very cool to lift the 1st finger and make that a C major 7. Or you could add in the pinky on the B string 3rd fret, make that a C major 9 and kind of say some stuff around it. Or another way to play C major 9, we'll be doing 1st finger on the D 2nd, 2nd finger on the A 2nd, 3rd finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd. So you can kind of work, dig on working the C that way. That way it's just a kind of a finger swap between the E minor 7 and the other C major 9. It'll make things a little bit easier if you're starting out. And then from the C, we'd be going to a G major chord. Normally you do that 1st finger on the A 2nd, 2nd finger on the low E 3rd, 3rd finger on the high E 3rd. And if you strum all those together, the happy sounds of G major. Now you may also dig on putting 3rd finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of working that for your G. And that way you could work the E minor 7, kind of finger swap to the C major 9, and 1 and 2 would just kind of switch strings for the G major. So make it really easy if you're just starting out. There's a couple different strumming options you may want to think about through the tune there. You could almost kind of work a down count, or what I call a down count idea. where you can do the E minor kind of for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then C for 4. And then go to the G for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have E minor 1, 2, 3, 4, C 2, 3, 4, G 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, E minor, C, G. And I'm adding a little bit of right hand meaning to that. If you wanted to, you could kind of take the flat of the right hand, lay it down on top of the saddle. That really heavy coolness, if you kind of dig on that. And there are definitely places on the tune, especially the last chorus actually, where you may want to work just downs to kind of back up your voice. You know, big E minor, big C, big G, kind of letting it hang, so it might be kind of cool too. Or you could use a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, down, up. So we took the E minor and just kind of tried that a little bit. Yeah, down, down, up. The weird part about that strum pattern though is the E minor and C are kind of what I consider, well, they're together in a measure. So what that means is for the strum pattern, you may want to take just half of it, just the down, down, up for each of those chords. You have E minor with the down, down, up, C with the down, down, up, and then G with the whole pattern. So you can kind of dig on that. E minor, down, down, up, C, down, up, G. Or something that I like to do is I'll split the pattern. So you can do the E minor with the down, down, up, and then go to the C for the up, down, up. Or if you get excited, like I do, you can do the E minor with the down, down, and then go to the C for the up, down, up. Kind of cool. So we tried it that way. You have the E minor, C, G, kind of what that split pattern I did. E minor, down, C on the up. Minor, down, down, up, C, up, down, up, G. It can be cool to split it anywhere in that strum pattern. So you know, kind of experiment, or even going back and forth between those two ideas can be very hip. You know, kind of experiment with that. Or for myself, I was really digging on something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat. Right now we're dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. So we have 1, 2. And that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide it into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the E minor and do a big down on the first one, kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, kind of a long down idea. That's what you'd be doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you do it down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So we're going down, down, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 down. And then on the third beat, you do it up on 2, down on 3. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you'd be going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, up, down, 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 down. So all together, you got down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, long down, 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 up, down, down, long down, down, up, down, down. There's 2 ways you could kind of apply that too. You could take just half the pattern for the E minor and the C, so just doing the long down, 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 up on each of those chords. So you can do the E minor with the down, down, up, down, 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 up. You go to the C for down, 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 up. And you go to the G for the whole pattern. So then down, 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 up, down, 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 E minor, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, G. Minor, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, G, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Or if you're really adventurous, you could split that pattern, and you could do the E minor with the down, 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 up. You can go to the C for the up, down, down, up, down, up. You can go to the G for the whole pattern. little bit more challenging to get the tempo, but definitely something to practice. And we'll basically be repeating that with a couple variations where we have some extra G's, or you may just want to do a stop tom idea, kind of hit the G and just kill it, you know, that kind of thing, like for some of the accents. Randomly in the verse, you will hear this cool little bass line around the C chord where you could play second fret on the A, open A, second fret on the A, open A. So on the C chord, and this can be a little tricky, if you're doing the down count idea, it might be easier to start with this idea. But you have the E minor, and on the C, you may want to think that 2-0, 2-0. So I'm just kind of doing just the first finger of the C chord on the B's first fret, second finger to follow the bass line on the A string. That's all I'm worried about in the C, to kind of try and bring out that bass line. And then you have that G. So you may want to experiment with that if you want to try and get that bass line in there. E minor, B, A, G. It's still kind of a C chord idea because it's kind of in your head, but that bass line might be kind of cool to try and bring that out. If you're doing the strumming, you could do that same kind of idea with the down, down, up on it. You just don't have as much time. You may want to turn it into down, up or something. On the G or on the C to bring that out. E minor down, down to C, 2-0, 2-0, G. That kind of an idea. E minor down, 2-0, 2-0, G. You kind of hear that kind of creep up in the verses. You may also want to think about with the 16th idea of doing that. You have the E minor down, down, up, and then the C. Let's see. Downs, actually, that works really well. And the G, if you want to bring out that bass line. E minor, 2-0, 2-0, G. That kind of an idea. Now the weird part is to play along with Panic at the Disco. Instead of starting on an E minor chord, they're starting on a G sharp minor chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 4th fret, then now your E minor is really a G sharp minor, and your C is really an E major chord. And your G is really a B major chord. I think from the very beginning, if you're kind of digging on those single note licks, you could work just that little intro, kind of 0, 2, 2, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 2, open, that kind of an idea. Or if you're adding those basses randomly, where we were doing the 3 to 10 slide, now it's going to be 3 to 4. 7. It's really going to be 7 to 14, like on that very last accent. So you'd have the opens, 2s, 2, 0, 3 and 1, 0, 2, 3 and open, open and 2, 2 and open, 2 and open, 3, 14, before you kind of come in on our main chorus, actually for our intro. And you can word that chorus any of those ways we've been talking about. You can do the down idea, E minor, C, G, or you can do the down, down, up idea. Kind of working the half finger, the split pattern. Or you word the 16th idea. Or you word the 16th with the split. E minor, down, down, up, C, up, down, down, down. So any of those things could work if you know the patterns. They can work too. You know, feel free to take this and embellish it. And then from the chorus, then we'll be going into our verse part. And so now that bass line kind of creeps up, so you may want to try experiment with that. E minor, C, G, or the down, down, up, down, E minor, C, G, or the 16th, E minor, C, G. And kind of with some hits at the end of that verse. E minor, C, G. Build up on that last G, lead into our next chorus. Now one other thing I think about adding the song though is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down, the down, down, up, down, up, you throw in a bass note for the chorus. So on the E minor, you have a low E for a bass. On the C, you have an A for the bass. On the G, you have a low E for the bass. So one way to kind of get some basses or some more bass action going on is you could take the E minor and do a bass down, up. And then C with the bass down, up. I missed my bass, but yeah, there's a bass. And then on the G, you'd have the bass down, up, down, up. So bass, down, up, down, up. So we have E minor bass, down, C bass, down, G bass, down, up, down, E minor bass, down, C bass, down, G bass, down, up, down. Or you can add basses and still split the pattern, which can be cool too. G, E minor, bass, down, C, up, down, G. And we're going into our next verse. So now we've got that bass line creeping up on the C again. So you can even do that with the basses we were just talking about. E minor, C, G, E minor, C, G, E minor, do, G, E minor, do, G. And we kind of have another pause. You may want to work it that way or just fill it in with a G before we kind of come in on the last part of that second verse. We got E minor, C, G, E minor, C, G. There's more G. It's kind of weird that second G. You can make it just a big hit. You know, just let it ride. Actually, I think it's more close to what's going on in the recording. Or you could just fill that time on the chord. And then from there, then we'll be going into our chorus part, into our second to last, our penultimate chorus, our next to last chorus. So if we're doing the basses with the 16th pattern, a lot of times for the bass pattern, you could work it off a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. So you can do bass, down, down, up on the E minor, bass, down, down, up on the C, and then the whole pattern on the last G. That could be a very cool way to get the basses in E minor, C, G, E minor, C, G, E minor, C, G. Now, if you're really adventurous though, this can be very hip. Is you can do the E minor with the bass, down, down, up, and then go to the C for the up, bass, down, up, and then go to the G for a bass, down, down, up, down, down. Should be very cool too. E minor, down, down, up, C, up, bass, down, down, G. So kind of get that bass notes on the C chord. E minor, C, G, E minor, C, G, E minor, C, G. And from that chorus, then we'll be going into our outro. It's really an outro, a chorus. It's really just a cappella, which means just voice randomly. So you may want to just work just the big downs to kind of support your voice at the very end. And kind of just big E minor, big C, big G. Kind of an idea. It might be kind of cool just to back up your voice. C, G, E minor, C, G, that kind of an idea. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Hallelujah by Panic at the Disco. So good luck. Don't forget to subscribe.